Hi. Hi, this is Caitlin. Hi, I'm Caitlin.
I'm Bailey.
And this is Book Boyfriend. Oh yeah, there's a rough start to this one.
Yeah. So, in the last one, did we tell them what book to read?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
really
Thank
hope
God.
so.
Hopefully everybody read or knows what we're about to talk about.
Yes.
Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the third book that Ali Hazelwood has wrote in like the STEM world.
Well, she wrote, okay.
Or the STEMinist novellas.
Yeah, she wrote that novella banged
Yeah.
up things. But
Yeah.
yeah, third full-length novel.
The novel. Yes. Yes. This one we follow Elise.
Elsie.
Damn it. Call me. What's his name?
A bitch.
There we go. We follow Elsie and Jack. Elsie
Basic
is
name.
a theoretical physicist. She graduated with her PhD a year ago when this timeline starts. And Jack is an experimental physicist. That's what they're called.
Yep.
So I guess there's like beef in this world between...
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this book because Joe is going to interject. I can see it
I
in
know,
his
it's gonna be-
fucking eyes
it's
right
gonna be
now.
so
He's
fun.
shaking his head like, yeah.
So the beef in this book kind of started by this guy, Jonathan Smith Turner, I think is his full name, writing a bullshit article and it getting published. And this publication, like, faced consequences of it because it was come out, it's like, this article was bullshit, so it's theoretical physicists, like, but just bullshit or whatever. And there was, like, a lot of real-world consequences that Elise... Is that
No.
her? Oh my god, I'm gonna keep getting it wrong because I just read Elsie, that Elsie is facing in the real world because jobs for theoretical physicists are slim to none now. There's like not as much funding. Like this article had like a bunch of shit. Okay, so this theorist over here, basically, I mean experimentalist. My god.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know. My coffee is finally hitting me. And I'm a little delirious, I think.
This is also our third one today. But
Ruin the magic.
spoiler alert. Ding, ding, ding.
Take it away.
I think you don't need to explain the backstory of the letter so
Okay.
thoroughly at this time.
Okay.
There's beef between theoretical physicists and experimental physicists, okay?
I hate that their titles are that long.
I know. So she's struggling to find a job. She's currently an adjunct professor at 3 colleges in the Boston area, making zero to no money, so she wants to get a tenure position as a PhD. So, but it's really hard because of all of the beef. And so she found a job, applied on the committee, on the acceptance committee. I can't. My coffee's hitting too. Jack is on the committee to hire for this position.
Yep.
But he is, very popularly known as someone who hates theoretical physicists as an experimentalist. So they are instantly fucking enemies.
Yep.
And it goes from there.
Yeah, but
her
this-
trying to apply to this position.
But this isn't the first time they've met.
Correct.
So, in order for her to make money, because she's an adjunct professor and apparently makes zero to fucking nothing dollars, she, on the side, fake dates.
Yeah.
Like, she's a professional fake girlfriend for this
Yeah,
company
an
or
app.
whatever. And her favorite client, his name is Greg. And she's broken the rules.
Oh, Greg.
She's gone on multiple fake dates with Greg and actually, like, sees him as a friend.
Yeah.
But Greg has a brother,
Jack.
Jack. Jack has a brother.
Yeah. And
So,
so they haven't gotten along even before this moment.
yeah. And he has no idea that she's actually a theoretical physicist.
Because when she was introduced to Greg, Greg knows her as a librarian.
Yeah.
So his whole family thinks she's a librarian. So when she's the fucking physicist that walks through the door for this interview, he's like,
Excuse me?
no.
Yeah. He's like, is
He
this
literally
a
said,
joke?
what, no? And then it is great from there.
Yeah.
On Goodreads, this has 4.19 stars.
I think that's a little low.
That's pretty high.
I know.
Like,
I'm like a 4.5 for this book, though.
okay, you gotta realize this is average
I know. You're right.
of 195,777 people.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Yeah, that's high as shit. But, I mean, I obviously rated it higher than that, but
Yeah.
that's pretty high for that many people to enjoy it.
I guess, yeah. An average of above 4 stars.
Yeah, damn. God,
So angry.
I am. Calm down. I thought the title of this book was really clever. I know all of hers are, but this one I thought was just especially clever.
Love theoretically?
Yeah, because she's a theoretical physicist, obviously, yeah. I don't know. I just really liked it. What was her other one? The first one.
Love hypothesis. The love hypothesis.
Yeah, and then Love on the Brain.
Yes. And they're all basically carbon copies of each other.
Yeah, but this one's the best.
But this one I think is the best. And I think it's because there was just that one little switch. The villain was switched. I feel like.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, so in her books, there's always a villain, kind of.
Yeah.
If you've read any of them. But I'm sure we'll talk about the other ones one day. But we just chose this one because we both read it recently. And so we thought we would talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's the most recent, so.
The way that she depicts the world of academia, like, I didn't think it was this cutthroat. Like, all of them.
Well, lucky for us.
Yeah.
We have an in-home human working on getting his PhD. Joseph? Comments? Concerns?
Well, you gotta describe it.
Terrible?
It's not great.
But it's, like, competitive. Like,
Unlivable? Waging?
oh, yeah. The money.
So, I don't know much on the physics side of things, but yes, it's highly competitive. Tenure tracks are more and more rare. Money is a big factor, so schools tend not to put a lot of salary towards things that don't benefit the school.
Yeah.
And not to talk shit on physicists, because they do a lot of good work, but a lot of the major physics like discoveries of late, of the last like 50 years, hasn't really been that much. There was a big boom of like physics, like when relativity and all that in the early 1900s, and then since then it's kind of like, it's not that it's fizzled out, it's just not as massive of
Like-
discoveries.
Yeah.
They figured it all out at one time.
Not really.
Not all, but they figured out a lot at once.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, well, shit.
Yeah, so I could see where physics specifically, probably it's even more
Rough.
competitive.
Yeah. So I know you said that there is like an actual
There,
beef.
I don't know how it's portrayed in the book. Obviously, I haven't read. There's
The beef stems from that article being published. He wrote a bogus theoretical theoretical paper that was just full garbage. Nothing was backed, and it got published in a very, very renowned paper that says it's peer reviewed, and it very obviously wasn't.
yeah,
And so his was like, the whole world took it as theoretical physics is stupid and it's useless, and they just say numbers and look smart and say big words, but obviously they're not really finding anything out. And the purpose of that, for that person who submitted the article, was mostly to target that journal as, you're not peer reviewing your shit, not targeting theoreticists. But so like that was the books.
So the article was meant to be fake.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was meant to be bogus, to point out that, hey, we need to peer review our shit instead of publishing big words.
Yeah.
And the world took it as theoretical physics is fucking stupid and useless. Not what he meant, but
There's a little bit of dramatic. Or I don't know how to say it.
it's fine.
That did happen, kind of. That not
I
specifically.
think it's based off real.
Not specifically in physics. At least what I know, there was a research group that started publishing fake articles as their experiment to see how many they could like just get
published.
submitted and published. And it's a big ethical thing. I can't remember the exact group, and then I'm pretty sure a lot of them got fired from their universities because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In physics, though, There is, like, I guess you could call it a beef between experimentalists and theoretical physicists, because theoretical deals with theoretical stuff.
Numbers.
Things that not necessarily could ever be proven, or they've yet to be able to prove a lot of things. And the big one is like string theory.
Yeah.
So that's a huge theoretical field. There's a lot of work that's published in it. However,
Nothing
has really ever been experimentally shown to prove any of that. So it's, but then again, theoretical physicists are also needed because relativity was theoretical before anything was proven. So, yes, there's a beef, but also there's kind of just a joke beef.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but the
Anything
beef.
else you need from me?
I don't know. I don't know about at this moment. Academia really does suck.
Yeah, it's highly competitive.
I know
always
even
fighting
you,
for funding.
like, you're just a, I don't want to say just, but you're a PhD student now and, like, make little to no money. Like, you wouldn't.
I make nothing.
You couldn't live off that. There's no fucking way.
No. And
Like,
I mean,
we have 2 incomes, and that's the only way.
yeah. If you go to like bigger schools, obviously there's more funding available.
That's true.
If your PI has a lot of funding, like that dictates stuff too.
Your advisor, yeah.
But like I said, it's highly competitive. So most grants don't get funded.
I know getting a teaching job is so fucking competitive. Like, even I know of that,
Yeah.
and I'm not even in the field.
Well, back in the day, you got your PhD, you did postdoc, you got a position somewhere. Now, PhD students, if you're trying to stay in academia, you'll do 3-4 postdocs before even a position opens. And that position is likely to not be tenured track anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in that field of science, obviously, but I'm in like human sciences with anthropology. And literally the reason why I decided to not continue and get my master's degree after I finished my bachelor's is because I need to get a job in order to get the experience and my name out, in order to go and get funding. Because, like, it's insane. And I'm in a whole class that basically prepares you for either finding a job or going and getting like your master's or your PhD or whatever. And it's literally every lesson is like, this is extremely difficult. You have to make yourself stand out. Everyone wants what you want. You are not special unless you make yourself special. And it's like, I just decided, fuck that. I'll just get a job. Like, fuck that.
It's pretty crazy. I don't know the statistics anymore, but I've heard them. So, like, my research is in medical stuff, so I get the main funder for that from the government is NIH, and only, like, I'm going to guess the statistic, but it's like 10% or less get funded for every grant that's submitted. And in order to submit a grant for like approval, you already have to show that most of your research is actually true.
Yeah.
So you have to already have data for your research before you get funding.
Yeah, like, how do you
for
do
your
that?
research?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Great choice, Joe.
Yeah, really.
So exciting.
Yeah,
It's a great choice for a career.
clearly. But I mean, it's obviously, going back to the book, it's a book, so she does stand out. She does
stand out.
Her, which I don't know anything about anything that she studies actually, but all her work was done in what's liquid crystals.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Yeah.
I figured, because Ali Hazelwood does have a PhD.
Yep.
I don't remember what it's in, but bitch has a big old noggin on her that she uses to write these books. Let's see.
If I remember right, I think liquid crystals are used in screens and stuff.
Oh. So she has a PhD in neuroscience.
Yeah.
And she is a professor now.
Wow.
Look at her go. But yeah, so she does have a PhD. So that's why a lot of her stuff is based in like STEM.
That's what she knows.
Yeah, and
She knows academia.
and it's I mean, I'm sure not everything she writes is scientifically accurate, but it's based in accurate science. So I had no doubt liquid crystals were real. I just had no fucking clue about them. But so she deals in liquid crystals, Elsie has apparently done some experiments that are like super crazy and groundbreaking, and has this really long CV, and was on like a Forbes top 100, like women in science and like all this crazy stuff, but yet she can't find a job.
Yeah.
So like that was a big part of this book, is she's really struggling to find a job. We find out why later, but you know, she needs this position because apparently adjuncts don't get health benefits, health insurance.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
considered a part-time position.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a private contract situation, part-time. So she's considered part-time, so she adjuncts at 3 different colleges to make a somewhat livable wage. But also, this character has type 1 diabetes, so she has a lot of medical needs insulin to live, and all this stuff. Well, she's struggling even more is because she has to pay for all this out of pocket because she doesn't have health insurance with her current job.
Yeah.
And because she's having to work at 3 different colleges and teach God knows how many classes, she doesn't have time to do her research. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say experiments, but she doesn't do that. She doesn't have time to do her math. So all I can picture right now is fucking Sheldon Cooper with his goddamn whiteboard in his fucking living room. Like, that's what I'm picturing. Little Sheldon and his, look at my whiteboard. I know, like, that's all I'm picturing is what she does with her.
Yeah, they were talking
research
about, like, they just, like, stare off into the void and write symbols every now and then, and they call themselves, like, theoretical physicists or whatever.
Wasn't that the whole thing about Big Bang? I know Sheldon was a theorist. Wasn't the other one an experimentalist? Leonard. He wasn't he?
Experimental physics.
Yeah. So I thought that was really funny. And luckily, I watched Oppenheimer right before I read this book.
Oh.
And I feel like it helped my brain realize a lot. Like, it really helped me. Like, I think Ali explains all this really complicated stuff, I think, really well, even for people who don't know anything about science, like we all do. But because I'd watched Oppenheimer, and, you know, he's a theoretical physicist, Oppenheimer was, and, you know, he's across the hall from these experimentalists, and they talk about how crazy they are in the movie. But I just thought it was really funny, because then I think it was damn near the next week or something, like very soon.
That's funny.
I read this. Yeah. So it helped my brain grasp around it.
Yeah. The timing, it was great.
It was. So this Ali Hazelwood book, I didn't realize this, or at least when I reread this one has a prologue. Did the other ones? No?
I don't know.
Grab them.
I don't own them.
You don't have
Any of them.
I thought you had the first one.
No.
I thought you had love hypothesis.
No, I have the Kiss Quotient. I know.
Huh.
I actually don't have it because this bitch has it.
Yeah.
So I gave it to you. But I don't own any of Ali Hazelwood's. I've listened to all of them on audiobook.
This is the only one I own. Oh, wait, no, I have Love on the Brain. I lied. Do I have the Love Hypothesis, too? I should have fucking brought them.
I don't remember that being the case. I could be very wrong. But the prologue on this, right? No. Is that right? The right word?
Prologue is before.
I'm getting it confused with epilogue.
I know, I always do.
But the prologue in this I thought was really funny. Do you remember it?
No.
It's where she's in the bathroom with Jack.
Oh, yes.
It starts with her in the stall with Jack like pressed up against him, and she's like, how the fuck did we get here in 24 hours or something?
Yes.
And like that's how it starts.
Yeah.
So I really liked the beginning of this one and how it was just like, what?
Yeah, it was funny.
Because I think it said like my boyfriend's or my date's brother
Yeah.
or something.
It was crazy.
And so we're like, what?
I do.
Books do have those.
They do.
It says the love hypothesis does.
I can't remember it. It's been so long since I read it.
You know what? I bet hers is when she. No. I was gonna say the bathroom thing.
Maybe
the washing her eyes out and like running into a man.
Oh, yeah, it was
You know
probably
what I'm
that.
about? I think it was that.
It was probably that.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought this was the only one, but that doesn't track very well. But anyway,
Yeah.
glad they all did.
No, this one started out with a bang. Like, it started out instant. insta-cute, I think. Like, I instantly loved it.
Oh, yeah. I read
Yeah.
this one so quick.
Yeah. I think I read it within 2 days.
Yeah.
And only because I think I took a break to sleep.
You gotta sleep, you know?
Like, but when I read, I know we're not talking about the Love Hypothesis, but when I read that one, it was in one setting. I stayed up all night and I read it all the way through. And I loved every fucking second of it.
Yeah. One thing I love about Ali Hazelwood is just her writing.
Yeah.
It's so, like...
Her little...
quirky.
Yeah, it's super quirky, and her little jokes are hilarious.
So many jokes in
and
them.
her friendship dynamics are amazing. Like, her friend in this book, Cece, I think her name is. I actually imagine Cece from New Girl whenever I read it.
Not, but...
But, like, you know, a
Okay.
more sophisticated version of her. Sorry. Yeah, she's...
Fuck no.
As a linguist, I don't know why, but I picture her extremely more... I do! Than Cece, New Girl Cece? New Girl Cece's a model.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a little bit more, like...
I guess she is getting her PhD too, huh?
Yeah.
Or has it? No.
No,
she's
I think
working
she's still
on
a student. Yeah. But
I don't know.
I love their friendship. But, okay, so... I feel like we've talked about everything but this book. Which is like...
You're talking about it right now.
I know. I feel like I've like just blacked out for a second there. Have I said anything in like 5 minutes? Oh my God. Okay, I'm here. I'm awake.
I'm carrying
I'm
this
here.
bitch.
Knock, knock. Yeah, you really are. Okay, so this book is really... I loved it. Okay, so there's like a shit ton of Twilight references in it, which I think are hilarious. But I also kind of found the love to be a little bit Twilight-esque. Let me elaborate before you give me that look. Before you give me that
She
look.
already knew I was going to be like,
Okay, so listen. So
there ain't no
her name
Jacob.
is Elsie, right? Elsie. I keep wanting to say Elise now. I'm a fucking bitch, I know. Elsie has this thing where when she meets a person, she basically analyzes the need of that person and takes that role that they need in that moment. And she has built her entire life off of this. That's why she's so good at her fake girlfriend job.
Yeah.
She's such a good friend to Cece, and she says that she feels her most true self with Cece, but there are still lies
Things she hides, and
that
lies.
she has hid. And so the thing with Jack sees through that shit. He's like, who are you?
Yeah.
What do you want? And I think that's like kind of like the Edward Bella thing. Like where Edward, it's the opposite. Edward can read everyone else
But
Bella. And so there's this thing where he's like, I can't figure you out. And it's the same thing with Elsie. She cannot figure
him
Jack out.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack's like, no, bitch, I see through you. Like, I don't know what it is that you do for everybody else.
Yeah.
And then he witnesses it when his like PhD student comes up crying or whatever.
Oh my God, yes.
And Elsie like flips a switch and she
just starts lying to her to make her feel better.
straight up lying. And like she does what I feel like a comforting friend would do.
She did what she needed to
did
do
the
in that
right
moment.
thing. But Jack was like,
I just watched
you that.
straight change.
yeah.
And he calls her like a puppet.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool dynamic in this book is because she's
Interesting comparison to Twilight.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I get it because like Twilight is mentioned so much in this book.
they literally watched it together. She forced him to watch it.
I remember.
I love it.
You said because I do that all the time.
I knew it. Currently, I'm
Yeah, I know.
rewatching all of them.
That's like her favorite movies, which I think is problematic in and of itself.
Oh yeah, they're not my faves because
We all know your fave.
yeah,
Pride and Prejudice.
yeah. And I was totally called out by the Barbie movie, dude, when they were like, "Depression Barbie, watch this Pride and Prejudice on repeat." I was like, Bailey literally looked at me in the theater and she goes, "Oh my God."
I went, oh.
It wasn't the right version though. I like the one with Keira Knightley. Okay,
Which?
I don't know what year. It's the earliest one.
Is it not BBC?
No, it's not the BBC
Oh,
one.
okay, because I feel like that's the one everyone likes.
Yeah, that's the one that's like referred to in the Barbie movie. But anyways,
Damn.
yeah.
But yeah, she does change her ways. So
Yeah.
I think it also is her home life. Like, obviously not now, but like growing up, her home life was really rough. Her parents, I would say, were middle. What's it called? Medium, not medium.
Yeah.
Middle income.
What is that called?
I've had this problem the other
like
day. I
tax
asked.
bracket?
Yeah.
Lower middle class? Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, yeah. I know. Middle.
Yeah, middle income.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Middle class.
I think they're near lower.
I think they're lower middle class. Yeah.
Yeah. So she has her parents. her two brothers or twins.
Yeah.
Twin brothers and then her. And so I don't really know what the fuck's up with her parents, but her brothers are fucking psychotic and they like fight all the time and cause a lot of problems in their family.
And her mom's a meddler. Like
Her mom's a piece of shit.
TBH.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Not their typical piece of shit, but still a piece of shit.
Yeah. She
And
puts
the
a lot of
weirdest
responsibility on her that's not hers.
Correct.
And like makes her feel like a shitty sister if she doesn't step in and figure out what's going on with her brothers. Like it's her responsibility or something.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But she was, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at some point in her life. And, I guess she like overheard a comment of her parents because the parents were like, well, she was the good one. We didn't think we had to worry about her. The easy one. That's right. She was the easy one. I didn't think we have to worry about her. Now this. And so she's felt like, okay, I need to make my parents' life easy. I need to do whatever I need to do. I need to be whoever they need to be to make their life easy because they have it so hard because of my brothers.
Yeah.
Which her brothers are just, for real. Her brothers are just stupid. They're really just stupid. And they're twins. They're twin boys. And so they think they have to like one up each other. Which one's cuter? Bitch, you're literally fucking identical.
Yeah.
Genetically in every possible way. Stupidest conversation. But they will get into like brawls about it. Not just about their appearance, but just about stupid shit. I think one was arrested.
Yeah. I think multiple times.
Yeah. So like her brothers are just a lot. And so it's just a lot on her family. And so like she said, her mom will make her feel really bad. Her mom will call her and be like, your brothers are fighting. I need you to fix it. Bitch, they're my elder brothers. So they're what, fucking 30s?
Yeah.
Get over it.
They're like fighting over the same girl in their 30s. Like, and I'm like,
Grow
okay,
up.
can we talk about the girl? Because she's the issue, actually.
Well, the girl called her at one point. At one point in the book, the girlfriend called her and she's like, do you think your brothers would do a threesome with me?
Oh, yeah.
That was like a scene.
I remember that. Yeah.
So the girl's the most
issue.
problematic.
Yeah.
The most problematic. But also if I was the mom, I'd be like, get out of my house. And I don't fucking care. Because her mom called Elsie, was like, what if they're still fighting at Christmas or something?
Yeah.
And she said, bitch, it's February. Or something. Like, why are we thinking about that? Her mom's just super manipulative and makes her feel really bad. So I think that's where her like, I need to change people stems from.
Yeah.
And I guess she didn't do too hot in school at one point because of a boy. Do you remember?
JJ, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember really anything about it.
Well, it was like one of those,
But that was
those
a
like
college
secretive plots that like authors kind of hide until the end.
Till the end, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is how they fucked him up.
yeah.
like, that's
So
what
she's
they
really
did.
fucked up from a past relationship too, but I don't remember it very well.
I don't know. I think it was like, I think what it was that she was so down bad and she thought he was down bad too. And then it kind of came up that he was like, no, like, we're just having fun. Like, this is just cash. And she's like, I'm in love with you.
Didn't they like live together?
Yeah. They lived together. They did everything together. Like, and she's like, I'm in love. What?
Yeah, what?
I'm sorry. And he's like, oh yeah, no, this is cash.
So I guess he like broke up with her so she didn't do too hot in college. So her grades weren't the best when she was trying to get into grad school.
Yeah.
And she found someone who would accept her. His name was Dr. L. It's like Larando or something.
yeah.
He's like French. So we're just going to call him Dr. L because that's what they call him.
Yep.
And so that's how she got into grad school is this Dr. L character.
This mentor of hers.
Yes, her mentor. And so she
Basically,
respects him a lot
yeah, she
and like
respects
puts way
him.
too much into what he says.
Basically has filtered the rest of her entire life through his opinions.
Yeah.
Like,
When she applied for this job, she like talked to him to see what he thought about it first.
Yeah.
Before she takes any job, before she does anything really.
they have weekly meetings,
weekly.
which is,
A year out of grad school.
it's insane.
That's not weird.
It's not weird.
No, your PI is pretty much your mentor for life.
Oh my God, that's so intense.
You're gonna meet him weekly?
Maybe not my PI. I don't think we'll meet like weekly, but if it's like
I'm not saying don't stay in touch by any means.
No, but it was like personal communications too. Like they were like, she saw him as more than just like an academic mentor, but like a life mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably sees him as a father figure, honestly.
Honestly.
Because he tells her he's proud of her.
Yeah. No one else does.
Correct.
I don't find that as weird, but I don't know the context of the book. So.
Well, we're telling it to you.
We also know a few things.
True. I just didn't know. Like, I don't have a PhD, obviously, so I just thought obviously, while you're getting your PhD, you have meetings all the time. I just wouldn't think afterwards you would still meet so often. I figured you'd stay in contact, of course. Like, you spent years with them.
It
And
kind of just depends. If I was in the same region, maybe. If I was still doing the similar research, he's an easy collaborator.
well, she's not doing any research, so not collaborating on anything. But I think she's just still on a job hunt, so she, like, reaches out to him for help.
Yeah, and she also trusted him to kind of put her name out there.
Yeah, ask all your friends.
Your network, you know? If
Yeah.
he's looking for a job, maybe, like...
He's supposed to help
Yeah.
with that.
So this Dr. L, she's, you know, her mentor, is the man who was the editor of the said journal during the whole theoretical versus experimental
Bogus report.
bogus thing.
Yeah.
So it ruined his life, ruined his career, doesn't get grant money anymore, really, because he was the editor of the paper, and he stated, he was like, I would have been fired if I wasn't tenured. Which I got a whole other can of worms about that, my opinion on tenureship. But tenure, bro, that's just an excuse to get complacent, in my opinion.
Complacent?
A tenured professor can do whatever the fuck they want with no consequences whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how I feel about tenure. I get it
Okay.
as like a you work hard to get this reward, but I think the reward's too big. I don't think there's any, like, he fucked up big and he should have been fired, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason he should have the job he has now.
Because he still has a lot of power.
He still has a lot of power in that because he was tenured, even though he fucked up so badly. If it was anyone else who wasn't tenured, they would have been fired, 100%.
Yeah.
So why should someone who's tenured not be fired?
Yeah. So that contributes to, like, why she doesn't like Jack so much. Is because, like, Jack
Yes.
personally fucked over her mentor's life, and she respects her mentor so fucking much.
Yeah, I mean, she's also a theoretical physicist, so...
Yeah, it's her job.
Yeah, so that's just another way it has affected her personally. So, like, I liked this enemies to lovers because they're actual enemies.
Yeah, there's actually beef. Like, personal. Like, she's like, you
Real beef.
personally ruined my life.
Yeah, like, there's real ass beef between these two.
Yeah.
So that I liked how this one was like...
And he didn't like her because he thinks she's lying to his brother.
Correct.
And he's super protective of Greg.
Yeah, his little brother.
Yeah.
Because it's his little brother. So, you know, he sees her walk in for this interview, for this job, and he's like, you're a physicist? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Greg doesn't know that because he would have told me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a physicist.
Yeah.
Hello. Small fucking world, first of all.
Honestly.
He sees it as she's trying to get my family money because his family, it's his dad's mom is super rich, I guess. And so she has a lot of money. And so when she dies, there's a lot of money up in the air at stake. So he thought at first she is either trying to get Greg for the money or trying to be with Greg to get to me. That's what he thought at one point during the interview situation. Because two physicists, come on.
Yeah.
In the same, like, circle. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then, you know, she obviously about shits her pants during this interview when she sees that
Yeah.
it's, oh my God, that's Greg's brother.
Yeah. And she's like thinking,
And
like,
she didn't connect it to Jonathan Smith Turner because he goes by Jack
yeah, Jack
Smith.
Jack Smith.
Yeah. I don't think he used the Turner really during these family get-togethers.
Yeah, because it was like his mom's name.
Yeah,
or
Turner
something.
was his mom's last name.
Yeah.
So his mom passed away, and his brother they're half brothers. So it's a new mom, so they don't really talk about his mom or his Turner side of the family. That's just what he uses professionally.
Yeah, I don't know how Jonathan translates to Jack. I don't see
Me
that.
either.
I would, like, think John. And then you would be like, John Smith. So she's like, oh, let's change it. Jack Smith.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like, I don't.
Let's change it.
So,
Yeah, I don't know why Jack, but
So
that's
it
where
was
we're
kind
at.
of believable that she wouldn't make the connection between the two.
For sure, no, 100%.
100% believable.
Especially because she thought
He was
a PE
old.
teacher.
Yeah, she thought Jack was a PE teacher, and she also assumed that Jonathan, same guy, but you know what I mean, was
old.
older. But in actuality, he was like 17 or something when he wrote
When he
this
did
bogus
the
report.
fake paper, he was in high school,
Yeah.
which is even fucking worse. How I wouldn't even know how to even now as a damn near almost 30-year-old
Yeah.
wouldn't know how to submit a paper to a journal. And
No.
the 17-year-old said, "Let me do a fake one and let me submit it."
You see, you go to the journal website, and there's usually a tab.
It's just that
says
easy, eh?
submit article.
That's that easy?
It can be. Depends on the journal. Sometimes.
Also, is there a physical journal named The Annals? Because that needs to be renamed.
The what?
ANNUL, isn't it?
I think it's dead ass anal with 2 N's. like,
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so either, but because that's this big, journal, famous journal.
I mean, it would be.
They talk about
in the first 50 pages. It would be.
There's an annual journal.
a what?
Annual.
Yeah.
Maybe she just kind of took that and ran with it. Literally, it's.
Oh, I take that back. This is just journals.
Oh. I take it back. Annual journals you could purchase. It's literally like ANNALS, I think.
No, I don't think so. I've
Yeah.
never heard of it, but that would
I
be a
mean, when I
famous
read it in my head, it's anal.
Me too.
Like,
And they say it so much.
yeah.
I'm like, really? You really got to do that right now? And here it is. ANNALS.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted me to Google.
Yeah, I really do. ANNALS of theoretical physics. That's the journal. Just because I think that's crazy.
It's real.
It's real.
Wow.
I figured it would be with Ali.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a funny name.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck?
How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, Joe.
I'm not a physicist. I don't know. I've never heard of this journal.
Annals?
I would assume annals.
Why would we name something that? Like,
It's probably somebody's name.
well, change your goddamn name.
Go by your first name, bitch.
Go by your first name. The Gregorys. I'd rather it be like the fucking
Gregory
Gregorys.
of theoretical physics.
Yeah, like the annals. That's awful.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, maybe not.
What the fuck, bro?
Is it just pulling up because of her
Because
book?
of this book?
I don't know. Now I'm confused.
Okay, well, anyway. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't, but we were just curious.
There's a Annals of Physics.
Oh,
Apparently, Annals of Theoretical Physics might be reference to a sci-fi thing.
she is a nerd.
Yeah. It says, like, on her back, her profile, she likes sci-fi stuff.
I don't know. Unimportant.
But that word is out there in a journal. Apparently.
Wow.
That's impressive.
It is.
Good for him at 17 knowing how to do that. Anyway, one of my favorite like scenes, the beginning. I think it's the very beginning. It's the first date we see her go on with Greg to the grandma, the one
Yes.
with the inheritance.
Millicent? Millicent.
Yeah,
Yeah. I always want to say
is.
Maleficent.
No, she's not the evil bitch. She's kind of
I mean,
she's not evil. But it's her birthday, like 90s. She's in her 90s.
yeah, she's old
And
as
so
fuck.
they're going to this party. She's going with Greg because he wants a fake girlfriend to get his family like off his back about getting a girlfriend, which is why he hires her. And his mom his mom is awful and wants to like somehow bag this inheritance.
Yeah.
Is what it seems like. Is all these people only come around to get the inheritance from Millicent. But at this birthday party, Jack's there, obviously. It's his grandmother's birthday. And they play Go. Mm-hmm. I loved this scene for some reason.
Did you like the scene of them playing, or did you like when Millicent came up after? And
Oh,
she was
no,
like,
it was Millicent while they were playing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Is when she was like, oh, wow. Well, one, no one's played him in a long time, I don't think.
yeah,
Because
he's never like not won.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so the grandma like made a comment like, "Oh, you two are like great together," or
These are
something.
so cute.
And then she was like, "Oh no, like I'm with Greg," and she said, "Sure,
She's like, "Are you sure?"
yeah," or something. And she's like, "We'll see." She said something like, "We'll see,"
Yeah,
and it was so funny.
that old lady throughout the entire book. Anytime
Can't wait to be old. Honest to God,
Oh my
just say
God.
the most unhinged bullshit and
and
no
get
one
away with it.
get away with it. So easy.
She's fucking awesome.
Like, oh, she's bad. That bitch knows what's up.
No, every scene that she is a part of is hilarious.
Yeah, she's fucking hilarious.
She's so funny.
And then they take like a Polaroid of them at the go table. Because the cousin's going around with a Polaroid at the birthday party. Takes a Polaroid of them at the go table. Which comes back later. But, and I guess, you know, he's probably like thinking like, what the fuck, this librarian just beat me at go.
Yeah.
Not
he's been on to her from day one.
Yeah. Because I think he's always kind of been suspicious of her changing. I think he's always kind of noticed it even before they kind of started having more conversations. But
sorry. No, you're fine.
So the go thing comes, or the Polaroid comes back because, oh God, way later on, she's in his house. So that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
There's like a storm going on, a snowstorm happening. So she can't.
Yep.
Baby, it's cold outside. Pretty much.
You can't stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he makes her stay because it's cold outside. And he, she doesn't have a car either, so that doesn't help her situation.
That's true.
And she stays in his bed and is like going through his bedside table
As one does.
to find a phone charger. And
That's a dangerous game.
I know she said she was ready to find dick rings, but she got this Polaroid of them playing Go.
This Polaroid of us. I think everyone that we've done, we've had a Taylor Swift reference
Isn't
in.
there like a lot of Taylor Swift reference? Was it this book that you found a lot of Taylor Swift?
No, it was another book that I recently
Like in
read.
the back had it even
had a
explained
playlist.
them.
It had a.
I could have sworn it was
Maybe
this,
it was this
bitch.
one.
Yeah, I think it was. It's love on the brain. Do not care about it. Yeah, it's this.
Yeah. She had Taylor Swift references all over the place. I think every
It says,
chapter.
I pair Taylor Swift songs with chapters of my book.
Yep. Ugh, Ali Hazelwood's
each
fucking
chapter
iconic.
Kind of references, not like so blatantly Taylor Swift, but she kind of integrates Taylor Swift into this. Which there was a few things we saw even.
Yeah.
Like when we were first reading it and talking about it, I was like, oh, look. We were like, oh, Taylor Swift. I don't remember any of them at
Not
this
right
time.
now. No.
But
in preparation for this
the
book,
Polaroid was.
I watched a review of it. And the reviewer, I can't remember her name, she was so mad about the miscommunication whenever he found out that she was a physicist, why she wouldn't just tell him, like, oh, I'm fake dating your brother. But I was like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to tell you, like, that Greg is hiding something from you.
Yeah, so he was
even to
hiding from
save
his family that
herself.
he was asexual.
Yeah.
And so he has a fake girlfriend to get his family off his back and leave him the fuck alone. And
Yeah.
he wouldn't have to explain himself. And she wasn't just going to tell the brother that, like, oh, your brother's asexual, so he hired me.
Yeah.
Because Greg has told Elsie at the very beginning of why he hired her. Like, he told her everything. So Elsie knew that. And she also knew the brothers, they're very, 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 very close.
Yeah.
And so she didn't want to, like, ruin that.
Yeah, because it probably would have. Because that's a big part of your
For sure.
identity. Like, your sexuality.
Actually, I think she ended up doing it anyway.
I think something led to it, yeah. But
Greg's mouth exploded. He had an abscess and he had a dental procedure and was high as fuck.
yeah, and it was
And, like, said something.
word vomiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even to save herself from, I mean, she's like on the line for a huge job, like a huge job.
True.
And just explaining this to Jack would save her. And she still is like, no,
Nah.
like, I'm not telling you, like, you need to get a hold of Greg. And of course, conveniently, Greg is on a fucking 4-day, like,
Work.
for work. What are they called? Retreats.
Yeah,
it's like
retreat.
a silent retreat or whatever.
So he can't have his phone.
Can't have his fucking phone.
So
And it's
no
like,
one can get a hold of him.
conveniently, of course.
Obviously, it's a fucking book.
Yeah.
But one thing, you know, her roommate, her best friend said in the beginning, like, Jack can't tell the committee to this because that would have been him asking you about your relationship, and that's like an HR situation. And so he's not going to rat you out. Because at first she was like, oh my God, he's going to tell all these super important physicists that I'm a fake dater.
There's a couple times where I'm like, girl, you're dumb. That's one of them. And then another one was when,
There's quite a few.
yeah, when they were like in the bathroom, they were hiding in the bathroom because they were talking about like, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you here?
Why are you here?
And two of the other like hiring committee came in and they were talking about her like being a female. Like,
Correct.
she's young,
And they were
she's
like,
cute.
She's going to get pregnant.
She's going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
We're going to teach her classes.
Yeah.
And in the next chapter, when she shows up for these personal interviews, they're conveniently not a part of the board anymore. And she's like, oh, okay. And just like moves on. I instantly was like,
same. He got them removed.
He got them removed.
They're dicks.
Because they're fucking misogynistic dickheads.
Yeah.
Like, could we not? Hello.
No. She couldn't piece it together.
She could not piece it together. And I was like, you dummy.
She's a dummy.
She's a dummy.
The dumbest.
But
Not really.
because of that, he ends up taking her on the tour around the campus. He's the one that kind of like heads her interview, really.
Yeah.
And the whole time she's just like, I fucking hate your guts. Like, can we stop this?
Well, and she's like, you hate me.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, why do you say that? And I guess all of their interactions from, you know, anytime she's been around the family when she was with Greg, he just like stares at her or doesn't talk to her or, you know, in her mind hates her for unforeseen reasons. Yeah. In the beginning. And so she's always tells him, well, like, you hate me. You've always hated me. You've hated that I'm with Greg. You hate that I'm a theorist. You just hate me. And so
you hate everything that I am.
She thinks it's both ways.
Yeah.
For a long time, she thinks it goes both ways.
And it so doesn't.
No.
Yeah. So there, in this job, she's also competing against somebody that she doesn't know.
Correct. So there's another candidate up for the job, and it is a friend of Jack's.
Yep.
George.
And that's what we know this character as for a long-ass fucking time. Mm-hmm. George.
So she goes scavenging anybody who has collaborated with Jack, and she found a guy named George, and he is like nothing.
Yeah, she's
absolutely
like,
has nothing, no CV. And she's like, how does he getting even interviewed for this position at MIT? It's MIT. And because her CV is extensive and his was non-existent. So she's like, oh, I got this shit in the fucking bag.
Yeah.
But the problem is she's a theoretical physicist, and the position, and this other person is an experimentalist. And the position they're filling was filled by an experimentalist previously.
Yep.
So it's definitely in the other person's favor.
Yeah, and they're a collaborator with Jack. Long-time collaborator with Jack.
Long-time collaborator and personal friend.
Yeah. So...
And, yeah.
I can't remember... So the interview goes on, whatever. We're kind of done with that part.
Sure, yeah.
She goes out... I think she's out with Cece, right?
They're at a movie watching Space something.
The Space Odyssey.
Yeah, 2001 or something.
Yeah. And so
I don't know anything about it.
That's a highly specific movie to see.
It's very... Because Cece is into old movies. She's like a movie buff. Very but niche. Specifically like the weird ass like Russian ones that don't even have all the correct subtitles or whatever. And because she forms herself to whoever she needs to be with,
she pretends she likes them.
So Cece takes her out on these movies, and she's like hating her life the entire time she's out there.
She probably falls asleep.
Yeah. But so out in the wild, she comes across none other than Jack.
With a lady.
This gorgeous lady.
She pissed.
She's kind of pissed.
She's pissed.
Yeah, she's pissed. And then when they're doing the introductions, she finds out that this is Georgina, right?
Her name is Georgina.
And they go by George.
Yeah, because she introduced herself. She goes, oh, hi, like, I'm George.
Yeah. And
well, it's actually Georgina, but everyone calls me George. And you can just, like, see it in her face. And I think George accidentally, not accidentally, but she's like, oh, like, I work with Jack. And Jack's like, George, stop. Yeah. Or like, oh, don't. And she's like, well, it's not.
The paperwork's not signed yet.
It's not official yet. And she's like, I got the acceptance this morning for the job and sent the paperwork in.
Having no idea.
Yeah, not knowing, because they're not supposed to know who the other was.
Yeah.
And then, she said her name was George, and it all hits Elsie, like, 1, fuck, George is a girl. 2, fuck, I didn't get the job.
Fuck, I'm finding out with my arch nemesis watching and my best friend right here in front of this gorgeous woman that I just fucking met.
Who doesn't know what's going on.
Who has no fucking idea what's going on.
She's just like, I'm George.
So she runs.
Straight fucking bolts the other way. Just starts sprinting.
And
George is
away.
Like, huh? What happened?
What's going on?
Yeah. And Jack runs after her.
As the knight in shining armor that he is.
Fucking... They both just ditched their friends, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, didn't they end up, like, Cece and George went to go get coffee or something?
Yeah.
Like, they just were like, okay, well, I guess we have to fill our time.
Yeah.
Figuring out what's going on.
So that's how Elsie ends up in Jack's house during a snowstorm.
Yes. And my favorite part comes very soon after this, where he's like, okay, well, now that we're not going to work together, and I guess they found out about...
Yeah, this is already after Greg is a fake.
After Greg.
He knows they're fake dating.
He's like, can I take you out?
Immediately.
And she's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
You hate me.
Yeah. This bitch literally said, you want to murder me? He said, where do you get these things? And she said, you said you wanted to take me out. He said, on a date. That's exactly how the scene went. She said, you want to kill me? So she's kind of dumb.
She's so dumb.
He said, no. But yeah, so literally immediately, once he finds out Elsie and Greg are fake dating, he's like, immediately like, I've liked you since I've seen you.
Yeah.
Like, he tells her all of it and is just immediately like, okay, thank fucking God that was fake because I've been having these feelings. I've been feeling really bad about it. This is why I don't talk to you. This is why I've been staring at you. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then he, asks her on a date, which I think originally she doesn't either say anything or says no, but she then come back and says yes. Mm-hmm. But, once again, it's really hard for her because in her head, this is her arch nemesis and the arch nemesis of her mentor, which her mentor does know that Jack is a part of this hiring committee.
Yep.
And he's like, ooh, this could be good. You could get a job there and fucking sabotage his life. Basically. It's kind of like what her mentor is telling her to do.
Yeah.
And she's just like, bitch, I just want a fucking job.
She's like, I'll avenge you, but like, can I get a paycheck first?
Yeah, she's like, bro, you get money for doing nothing and I get no money for doing everything. Like, stop talking to me. Not really. She loves him, but because in her mind, she wouldn't have ever even been to grad school without him. Which may be true, honestly, but...
Yeah. But... So he got her to grad school, but he didn't get her to success. Like, she got herself to success.
Yeah.
And that's something that she doesn't see.
Correct.
Yeah. Their relationship is so...
Toxic.
It's so toxic, but, like, you don't see it until you see it. And then you're like, holy shit.
Has to be spelled out for you, but...
Yeah.
I think another thing I really liked is throughout, like, the whole book, Jack always asks her, like, who hurt you?
Yeah.
He asks her that a lot.
He's so good. He's very good at He's like the perfect example of like communication in a relationship, honestly. Mm-hmm. And like when they do start being like sexually active together, like the communication is actually fucking great.
Yeah.
Because he's just wants to take care of her, but not like in a annoying way where it's like everything that they do. It's like, is this okay? Is this okay? Where like, it's like, okay, back off. Like, yeah, you're fucking annoying now. Like, but yeah, it was good. I don't remember this book being like as like spicy, like as like the romance is it's more emotional than like in Tessa Bailey books whenever we see much fucking spice, and then the emotion is kind of like the side product of it, but this one is way more emotion based.
It's flopped.
Yeah, and then
these
sex
are not
happens.
As spicy, for sure. I think a lot of it too where he's kind of communicating during when they're having sex is like, what do you want to do? Is this okay? Because she's how she is, where she's very conforms to what others want.
She's also never got off with a partner.
Oh, yeah.
She's never gone off with a partner.
Because she does what they want to do.
And does what they want to do.
Wants to make them happy.
Yeah. And then he's like, do you know how to do this? Like, do you know how to, like, have fun or whatever?
Yeah.
And he, like, talks her through it. And she's like, holy fuck! Shit's amazing! She's like, let's do it again! So when they finally get together in that way.
Isn't it during while they're watching Twilight?
I think there's a few. I mean, they do it multiple times.
I know, but
I think, yeah. She's like, this
I know
is
there's at
actually
least
happening.
one of them.
She's like, this is happening.
They're like watching Twilight and then they're not watching Twilight anymore.
They're not watching Twilight no more.
No mo.
We ain't watching it no more.
I did like in this book though how she didn't get the job. I know that's like really weird to say.
It was like, because we think at the beginning of the book that it's going to be the main plot. Like the end of the book, she's either going to get the job or she's not. And somehow Jack fits into the job, But with her finding out that she doesn't get the job like halfway through the book, you're like, where the fuck is this going to go?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to, the way that it goes is that she finally fucking figures out why he wrote that article.
Yeah.
It's a personal vendetta. against
Dr. L,
Dr. L.
her mentor.
And she's like, hello, why? And he's like, oh, let me tell you about my mom.
Yeah.
And I can't remember all the details.
So his mom was a theoretical physicist.
Yeah.
Working, I think, just in the same department as Dr. L.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how everything transpired, but somehow Dr. L screwed her mom over. Oh my God. I think what it was she had a kid left. And when she wanted to come back, they somehow
Said no.
wouldn't let her, or not wouldn't let her, because I don't know if that's even possible, but just kind of edged her out, made her life really hard.
Yeah.
Something.
But she's writing all this down in her diaries.
Yeah, she has a journal.
Which Jack has access to after her death. So he reads all this stuff.
Yeah, and she dies when he's 1.
Yeah, little.
So I don't remember what happened. I'm assuming cancer when you die that young.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
Me neither.
So, yeah, he reads the diary or journal when he is a teen.
Yeah, and that's what sparked this, like, oh, I'm gonna fucking ruin this guy's life because he ruined my mom's life, basically. Yeah. And he finally tells, he knows who her mentor is.
The whole time.
The whole time of this book, and he hasn't said shit. And he finally tells Elsie, like, this is why I did this. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you tell me? One, because he's my mentor. And he's like, well, this is exactly why. It's because you would get defensive. And she's like, well, yeah, he did everything for me. He's the reason why I'm here. And he's like, no, he's fucking not. He wants you to think that because then he gets to control you.
Yeah.
So then they break up. This is like their breakup moment. It's like after this amazing sex that they had or whatever, they have this fight over her fucking mentor. And it all comes back to this stupid article that ruined her fucking life or whatever.
Yeah.
So then she goes to Dr. L's office and is like trying to confront him about it.
Yeah, I think she specifically asks about the mom.
Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah, that girl. Like,
Yeah,
like,
says something shitty.
Yeah.
Don't know what exactly. But then she somehow gets it out of him. I don't remember how exactly, but that he never actually asked any of his colleagues.
Yep.
Or they reached out and he ignored it.
Yeah, he was like, it wasn't the good fit for you, so I didn't even tell you about this job.
Yeah, so people had been wanting her to work there. She had many offers for jobs, and she thought no one wanted her to work for them. But he just wouldn't relay the message to her because he thought it wasn't a good fit. And so that's when she kind of like woke up and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because she's been struggling.
Yeah, and he wanted her to teach for some reason so hard.
Yeah, there was like this weird
And
thing.
she wanted a research position.
Yeah, and he was like, no, like tenure track is where you need to be.
Which
like,
it
it's
is,
so
but
fruitful,
it's not
blah, blah, blah.
what you need to do immediately. Like that's, I feel like, so rare in academia. You get research positions, you do research for a while,
You kind of prove yourself.
and then you go tenure track.
I mean, that's
how
how
I've always seen it.
Same.
It's not 100% how it works.
I know that,
So-
but I just feel like that's how most people do it.
Kind of. So the traditional way you would get tenure is, like I said, you would get a postdoc, and then you would find a position somewhere.
She didn't do postdoc.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Typically, you try to do a postdoc. Well, typically you have to do a postdoc. And during your postdoc, what you do is basically you're just research. Don't teach.
Yes.
And you're just publishing as much as you can to build your CV, is the idea.
Yeah.
And then you apply for a job as a assistant professor. And then if it's a tenure track position, you're an assistant professor until you become tenure, which then you're a professor. So, and then in the traditional sense, there's also a position above tenure track professor that's called something, but I can't remember what it is.
Wow.
And it's very rare anymore.
Yeah. So how rare is it though to just jump to a tenure? I mean, you can't
Right.
obviously.
she's looking
you can't
for
obviously
research.
jump tenure, but
Are you saying how rare is it to not have a
to
postdoc?
skip. Yeah, that's kind of what my brain was trying to ask.
I don't know because it's
That is-
physics. It's a different field.
That's
so I don't
true.
know what's required of them.
Okay,
my
in your
field,
in your field,
you can't.
exactly. Like I've heard
actually-
of other people like just
There might be an exception. So if you go to industry
okay,
and
yeah.
work at a company, maybe
Oh,
depending
you
on
get
the
like
school, they could say,
hands-on
like,
experience.
They would
Let that
waive-
count. But that's still something
But-
else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a bridge.
Yeah.
And for some reason, her mentor just wants her to just fucking boom, be on this side of academia that you need to work for. And I don't know why he thinks she can skip that or why he's drilling it so hard.
Maybe it was different for him.
It probably was because it was way fucking long ago and it wasn't
Yeah.
as saturated. He's, as she put it, a white male, a
Yeah.
rich white male. And, you know, she's a girl, which is just so hard. Well, they say in STEM, and it has been really hard in STEM in the past. I don't think that's necessarily the case anymore. I know it's not in Joe's lab. Joe's actually the only guy in his lab besides the mentor.
I think 3 or 4 of males.
Like
the
in your
whole
program? Yeah.
Whoa.
Most of it's women.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? I know. I was like, Joe, I thought it, what the fuck?
It's interesting.
It is.
Yeah. I had a professor who, in attempts to like kind of counteract the male-dominated field, because anthropology is still very much a male-dominated field, he would kind of prefer female people to work in his lab, like female students. Like he, instead of like having it be like an applied position, it was like an invitation-only type thing. So he actually got called out for only inviting girl students to be a part of his lab. And he was like, that's the opposite thing of what I wanted. He was like, I wanted to give them like experiences that they wouldn't see in other labs because it's usually a male dominated field. But if I need to make it like an equal thing, like I will, but like don't try to make it like to where I'm
Malicious.
like that I'm doing it maliciously or that I'm like sexually
Creepy.
favoring like creepy
women.
over these women because that's not what I'm doing. So it's weird that like even when we are trying to counteract the amount
Past.
of women, it's like still
You're gross.
like why are we doing that?
I don't know, man. But she confronts the evil man in this story.
Yeah, and he's the bad guy.
Yeah, so all of Ali Hazelwoods have a bad guy.
Yeah.
Which
They have someone who's fucked over the female main character somehow or some way or is intending to.
yeah. I'm trying to remember the second one. But I remember who it was, but yeah. So that is one thing. I liked this one. It was, I think, not as easy to figure out who the bad guy was. I
Yeah.
figured it out eventually.
Yeah, I figured
before
it was probably him too.
revealed. But I mean, in the first one, I didn't see it coming because it was her first book. Didn't know there was gonna be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when it happened, I was shooketh. And the second one, I knew who the bad guy was when he was introduced.
Yeah,
It was so obvious.
it was.
And this one, I didn't know it when he was introduced, but you kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I
When
remember
he's
you
red
texting
flagging
me
it up.
and being like,
I know
who
it
do you
is.
think the bad guy is?
Yeah.
And I said what I said and you were like, all right. That's all you would
That's all.
say.
That's all I got.
That's all.
But so once she kind of realized, oh shit, he is a piece of fucking garbage. Jack
Yeah.
was right.
Yeah.
She doesn't necessarily go back to him by any means yet. I think she just kind of lives her life. Her and George get close.
Yeah, which is it's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
It's like she reaches out to George. What? You just made a face.
I just remembered the best part of this whole book
Okay.
is she refers to her other two books.
Oh, yeah. At the fucking party.
Not only just that, but even earlier on.
Oh, the Twitter account, right?
Yes.
the
Elsie
Twitter
comments
account.
on, I wouldn't have made it through grad school without blah, 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 or what would Marie Curie do?
Yeah.
Which is ran by the main character in the second book.
Yeah.
Don't remember her name, but
I don't either. And then the love interests in the first book are friends of Jack in
Yeah.
this book. So we actually see them. It's
Together.
like their version of a prologue type thing. It's like we see into
epilogue.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Like an epilogue type thing. And we hear a little bit from Olive, I think the female is. And she's like, actually, I have this surprise for Adam. And we get this little tidbit of information. And it was,
And he also mentions Adam when Elsie first comes to her house. I didn't notice it the first time I read it, but the second time. So I tried to reread it, but I didn't finish it before. But whatever. So when she comes over to the house, he's like, oh, you can take the bed. I'll just sleep on the couch. My friend Adam says my air mattress sucks.
oh my God, it
And
was
I was
that Adam.
I was like,
Oh my gosh.
it's Adam Carlson.
I love it. I loved it. It
And
made
the only
me so
reason
happy.
I even pointed that, like put that together is because, you know, later on we see Adam,
Yes.
realize they've been friends for a long time. We see
He
Adam
is
and
the
Olive.
definition of bad and broody.
He-
My
Adam
guy.
is.
My guy.
We can't talk about Adam.
Oh my god. My guy. Okay.
We can't.
I'll put it away.
You said, I'll put it away.
My guy.
But yeah, it was really great to see them. I loved that part of this book.
Yeah,
I think I
was
texted you and I was like, oh my
giggling.
God!
I was giggling the whole
Adam
time,
and
like
Olive.
kicking my feet, like I was so happy. It was so cute.
Oh man, I don't even remember what we're talking about, but the party.
Yeah.
Where we see Adam and Olive. I guess that's kind of where her and George connect.
Yeah.
I don't remember very well.
Yeah, and that's where that's before the breakup that happened.
For sure, yeah. That's before the breakup.
Yeah. So there was also that fight between Jack and that other girl
At the party.
at the party.
Oh, yeah. Someone in his lab or something.
Yeah,
Don't care.
Audrey or something
I don't
like
care.
that. It doesn't matter. But she was like, why the fuck are you with this bitch? She's a theorist. You hate them. You ruined everything that they are.
Yeah, you hate theorists.
And he's like, don't fucking remind me. Like, I know. He was like, shut up. Like, he's like, you need to stop before you say something.
Well, she says something rude. Oh, she says, is she a good fuck?
Yeah, she was
And
like,
he
are you
said,
just
you
in
need to
it
shut
for
the fuck
good
up.
fuck? Yeah, that was bad.
Because I think this is the first time they're, like, going out together. Or, like, public.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if they've, like, fucking decided they're dating because Elsie's so wishy-washy.
And they're
But
so cute, and like he's like all over her at the party. Like it's talking about how they're literally like, bro, like pay attention, snap out. Like they're literally all over each other. Mm-hmm. And then this bitch ruins it because
and then
that's
Elsie overhears.
Elsie overhears, and that's what makes her like. She's like, it all comes back to this fucking article that you wrote. Like it all comes back to
Ruin my
this.
mentor's life and blah, blah, blah. And that's their, like, breakup.
Yeah.
And then she goes and talks to Dr. L.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
The grand gesture.
The grand gesture.
This one I loved.
I know. I think
It was actually a grand gesture.
wouldn't say the best. It's high up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And he writes a letter or writes a statement. I think it's just a statement.
Yeah.
About
what are they called? A what it's something op. Right? Op-ed. That's
Good
what
job,
it is.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Good job. So he writes one of those and is like just commenting on why he wrote that letter or
Yeah.
wrote that paper, whatever the fuck it's called. Wrote the article a long time ago. What his goal was to expose
Wait.
lack of peer review.
So he wrote the fake paper.
He wrote it at 17.
That would have ruined his career too.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Well,
he wrote a fake paper.
No, he came out on top because he proved his point.
Because the journal pulled
I
it.
think it would have killed his career, but that's beside the point.
I'm sure he came out back then and was like, see, look, that was my goal.
But
Oh,
it was
that's-
also before he even started college.
Yeah, he hadn't even started college.
I still think it doesn't matter.
Because they all
Really?
knew his name. It wasn't like he went by a different name.
You're right.
Because they all knew Jonathan Smith Turner.
Oh, so you think that would have ruined him too?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because it could be ethically argued that you published falsehoods on purpose, even though
Which
it
you
was a
did.
vendetta of something. It's still ethically wrong.
But somehow he's top of his field in this book.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's a fucking book, Joe. I know. I'm just saying. We have to suspend our disbelief a little bit. But comes out with this paper like, I did this at this age to more show. We need to actually be paying more attention on what we're publishing. We need a peer review.
Yeah. And he also tells his mother's story.
Tells his mother's story about Dr. L.
Yep.
And I think even Elsie reports Dr. L for his behavior to her and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And he comes out and was like, I don't hate theorists at all. My mother was a theorist. I respect so many theorists. We have to collaborate with them as experimentalists
Yeah.
and use their ideas and try to prove them. Like, that's why they are there. And, this whole thing. And then he goes on. I think he links a bunch of fucking theoretical
Yeah, he
papers.
cites him. Yeah.
Yeah, he cites a bunch of theorists in their papers, and she's one of them,
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And so then they, get back together, pretty much.
Yeah, because he definitely did it because of her.
For sure.
He's like, I stayed silent and I shouldn't have, and this was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she kind of said that to him, like, you didn't ever say shit. And so, you know, everyone thinks he hates theorists, and he, you know, he says he doesn't. And she's like, well, you've let them believe that all this time because you've just not said shit about what you did. You've just let people assume whatever they want, and now it's gotten really hairy and terrible, and you need to speak up and say something about it.
Yeah, which he does.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
They get back together. And she does get a job at MIT.
Yeah.
A postdoc position with George. George hires her in her lab to be a postdoc in her lab. And she's like, did Jack make you do this? And she's like, no.
Fuck him.
And she's like, no, I want your stuff, your crystal stuff. And I'm sure her and Jack collaborate because he said he could use them too, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, she gets the research job she wanted.
She gets the man.
And she works at the same college as her boo thing.
Yeah.
Down the hall.
Yeah, I was very happy.
Yeah, I loved this one. I think I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah. I think I could give it 5 stars. Because I did think about it after. Like, after reading a book, I don't initially rate it because I always feel like the after book high.
That's true.
But this one is one that I still think, like, man, I loved that book. Like,
yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, it was. It was good.
I can't decide if it's, like, my favorite male character she's written yet.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, do you have your phone? I need your phone. I wonder if Ali Hazelwood watches anime because this character, how he looks here, looks just like this anime character. One of my favorite characters in one of my favorite animes, Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh my god. I swear to God, this
She probably does.
the same person.
So is that why he's your favorite? Because he looks like him?
Does he not look? Let me find a better
The
one.
hair.
It's the hair and the cheekbones and the jaw. They're the same.
Oh my god.
I love it. Nanami has my fucking heart. Love him. Bad and broody. Nanami is.
Okay, I was like, do you think he is?
No, he's a golden retriever.
Yeah, I know. And it's just been a while since I've read the other ones.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to compare them all, but
Well, Adam was definitely bad and broody.
correct. But I did like Adam.
Yeah, me too. I liked him a lot.
Obviously, you about to just shit your pants over there.
I love him. And then who was the second one? What was his name?
Don't even remember his name, but I did like him.
Yeah, I liked him.
I didn't really like the girl very much, but I liked the male character in that one.
Me too.
I didn't like Love on the Brain very much, but I
Yeah.
liked the male. But I didn't like anything else about the book, to be honest.
Yeah. Of the 3, I think this one is my favorite.
I don't want to say that because it's been so long since I've read Love Hypothesis.
The Love Hypothesis is very,
Because I
very,
loved it.
very, very, very close. Very close. Like on a different day, it may switch. Like that's how close it is.
Like today it's this, tomorrow. I'm
But
sure.
Love on the Brain is like down here.
Yeah,
Will I still read Ali Hazelwood? Fuck yeah.
obviously everything she writes. Fuck, can't wait for Bride.
Cannot wait for Bride. I can't wait for Bride because it's something different. So like we've
Yeah.
seen all these, contemporary romances. She did the 3 novels, 3 novellas. I think we wrap this bitch up.
Well,
Wrap
we're not
it
done
up.
with her shit.
And move on.
Check and Mate comes out.
That's a YA.
That's true. That's probably gonna suck ass.
Comparatively, it's gonna suck ass because there's
Yeah.
gonna be, honestly, hopefully, no spice. Because I have a thing.
Hopefully.
I have a thing with YAs and spice.
Oh,
I just do. I just do.
I get it.
So
I don't agree with it, but I get it.
yeah, which is totally cool. But I just have a thing. And then no, but I'm ready for her fantasy.
Is Bride? It better be adult, or I will be upset.
I think it is. But I'm
Oh, thank God it is.
I really, 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 really hope it's good. I've only seen good things from people who have had access to the arcs.
So far, even though I don't know how accurate these are, but it has a 4.32. Bride.
yeah. Okay.
Comes out February 6th, so
Those people got the arcs so
early.
quick, and so many people got arcs. It's all over the
they-
place.
all are rating it pretty high.
Ugh.
Check and Mate comes out November 7th. That's pretty soon, bitch. Shit, wait, that's real soon.
That's like,
3 weeks away. It has a 4.3 right now.
Pretty fucking good. Mm-hmm. Ah,
Okay, what are we reading next? Are we gonna do the
Bellinger
Bellinger?
sisters. Yes.
So Happy One Summer, Hook, Line, and Sinker will be the next one we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that
So
one.
excited. So I first listened to those as audiobooks. So I bought the physical copy so I can mark that shit up. I'm so excited. Okay, thanks for listening.
Oh my god. That'll be the next one, so hopefully you read them. If not, we're gonna spoil the whole fucking shebang. I highly recommend reading them. They're incredible.
They're really incredible.
Probably my favorite so far of anything we have or will talk about. What?
Every Summer After?
I meant like, I don't know yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Every Summer After I think will be iconic.
I think I'll cry.
I think so too. But it's okay.
You know what I'm really excited for? The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Isn't that what we just talked about?
No, we talked about Every Summer After.
Oh shit, my brain
Oh my
was
God, all these summers!
My brain went Summer I Turned Pretty. My bad. I'm okay with Every Summer After. I'm more excited about the Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay, yeah. No, those...
You know what I'm actually the mostest excited about? For you to read One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
I know.
Love triangle of the century. I dare say.
You dare say.
I dare say.
Wow, that's pretty.
So we're giving you some hella cues of what to read if you're bored.
Oh, yeah. No, these are coming.
We don't know when, but they're coming.
They're coming.
Okay, next time. Happy One Summer. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey.
Happy reading.
Bye.
Bye. Those were like,
I'm okay for both, I'm excited for both of them, but I'm tired of the NFL just throwing it down my throat every 10 seconds because she goes to the games now.
yeah.
So every 3 or 4 minutes, they show her.
Oh.
Taylor Swift's here.
Annabelle and Courtney bought, their team is the Patriots.
Okay.
They're playing the Chiefs on Christmas. That's their Christmas Day game. So they bought tickets for it for Christmas Day. And they're like, if Taylor Swift's there, we'll send you videos. I'm like, bitch, don't. Because if you're in the presence of Taylor Swift and I'm not, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
You've been without them.
I know, but it's different because I actually love her. They don't.
Oh.
They don't deserve to be in their presence.
They don't deserve it.
They probably couldn't even see her. She's in a booth somewhere.
Yeah.
Way up in a box.
Well,
yeah,
if
unless
they
you're
show her
under
on
them.
the screen.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But it's annoying. Just because I'm like, okay, this is the...
What did they
And
fill
he
their time
doesn't
with?
go to the movie premiere?
He didn't go to the movie premiere?
No.
Who?
Is this a PR
Travis
stunt?
Kelce.
Because he played Thursday. Didn't it release
Oh,
Thursday?
she went to the release on a Thursday. Yeah.
So we had a game.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Good
Of course, that's the 1 week. We had a
Fine.
Thursday game.
Also,
Fucking
I
ridiculous.
would never go to the movie theater if I'm Travis Kelce at the moment. He would be swamped.
Yeah, he'd be attacked by women.
Yeah.
All of them.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy. So
That video
I
you
don't
sent
see
me.
it.
Oh, I do.
I don't say it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't
It's
say
the
it.
eyes when he smiles. That's what it is.
It's the stash for me.
You know what I heard it called the other day? A womb broom. I said, excuse the fuck out of me. The fuck?
Gotta clean her up.
I was like, what?
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
okay, give me some claps.
Are you recording?
That's one of the clips.
This is gonna be a blooper at the end. The womb room.